Okay, so this project file is definitely not gonna work. I turned on Smart Disable and it's still lagging like a bitch. I can't think of anything else to do. So I've exported it and I'm gonna play it for you. Uh, this is probably the best drum step drop that I've made in a long time. I've gone kind of overboard with the sound design and it's kind of hectic, so this is like, theoretically, this would be like the climactic song of an EP or something, like song 3 or 4, rather than like starting off the thing. I'm calling it Mad Lad because somebody called me a mad lad for going all out with my music shit, and I thought that was understandable. And it's yeah, because I'm kind of bonkers, I'm kind of nuts, and I went kind of insane with this one. So I'm gonna play it for you, and then I'm gonna break down some of the details of how I made it because I'm not sure about most of it. So yeah. So that's the thing. It's still not mixed and mastered very well. Like, I just have Maximus on the master channel. I'm just not done with it yet. But I'm gonna start with the basics. Here's the drums. Really simple. They're just cymatics drums. I put a ride cymbal and hi-hats. I started with that, and then I started to add basses. I made a wavetable a while ago using a sample I made out of Citrus because I've been learning FM synthesis. So I made a wavetable by resampling a growl bass I made in Citrus, and I used that in Serum to make this growl, which just cycles through the wavetable and has an LFO shape that is just, like a typical like envelope. Like, see like this. I actually made a bunch of wavetables like that, but if you cycle through it, it's just a simple little thing. It just cycles through the wavetable and bends. Got a phaser, chorus, dimension expansion, and distortion on it. And then the bulk of the sound comes from bit crushing, formant shifting, and frequency shifting. Yeah, I've got ring modulator, formant shifting, and I've got bit crusher on it, and that all makes it have a vowel shape because I could have done it with an EQ probably, except for the bit crushing, but that's how I did it. And then I have a couple like generic like wub sounds. I have it all going through my reverb and sidechain send, which the reverb send has a high pass on it. Basic sub bass. This wub here, it's like the most generic FM. Got triangle, comb filter, little thing like this. I made basically this is the most generic like wub bass that you make with FM. I'm FMing 2 triangle waves, which is also how you make a growl in FM synth if you're like using Citrus, but I'm just using Serum for this one. It's just some basic filtering, comb filter. But the bulk of the uniqueness of the sounds comes from form and shifting and tape stop. So I've got it shutting off. So it like has a neat sound effect. And then I have, this is, I believe it's, yeah, it's bit crushing. I have an LFO envelope shape on the bit crusher, which gives it different, like, it just gives each like individual instance a different feel. I have 3 different versions of it. One of them is just this one, but cut in half. But this one gives it a more like choppy percussive feel to the wub bass, and this one is a more wubby vowel, like wah 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 kind of feeling. And then I've got form and shifting on the main thing to make it sound like it's actually shifting more. So that's the main bass for the main pattern. And then I've got this growl here, which is another typical growl with another one of the wavetables I made using Citrus. Let me see if I can find that sound here. This one. Yeah, so this is the wavetable. I made it by FMing a triangle wave in Citrus. And I'm just shifting through the wavetable slightly, and I'm using Bend Plus on it. Phaser, chorus, distortion, compression. And then all of the basses are going through OTT. So it's like a whole I'm just crushing everything with OTT. And then over here I have this bass, which is this pattern here, which only shows up once or twice. It only shows up once. I'm going to bring it back in the second drop because I'm going to finish this song because I love it. This scrape here is actually, it's just saw wave. FM saw wave, you know, the typical like scrapey dubstep sound. Like a rhythm bass. But I've got it going through ring mod. And let me see if I can find the settings for that one. Yeah. Form and shifting and ring mod. You have form and shifting to make it sound more like resonant. And I'm modulating the frequency of the ring mod, so it like changes the pitch. It like accelerates into the sound, if that makes any sense. Let me just turn this on so you can see what it's doing. Yeah, that's what it's doing there. It's basically just pitch shifting, but I'm using ring mod to do it, so it gives it an interesting sound. And then I bring back the bass, the second growl. I just have the form and shifting in a different way, and then the last 8 bars of the first drop are just the same as the first 8 bars of the drop, except I'm gonna have a big riser on this guy, on this MFA. I also have this pad that I made. I spent a few hours just fucking around with Patcher, and I made this guy. There is clicking, but I actually don't care because it's sidechained, so you don't really hear it. And I've got just piano from Flex. Crash cymbal. White noise. I also don't have, and I have white noise going up too. I've got a tonal reverse, which I lazily took from a somatics bag instead of making it because I didn't feel like making it. I just pitched it down a semitone because this is in D minor. And I have these vocals here. And this drum fill, which is from a Virtual Riot pack, but I've put frequency shifting on it and transient shaper, and I think maybe formant shaping. Hold on, let me check. Yep, that is exactly what I put on it, and I'm sending it to my sidechain in my reverb/delay because I'm using Lo-Fi Space, which is a Waves plugin, because it has reverb and delay in it, and that way I don't have to use 3 or 4 sends. I'm just using 2, which really helps on the CPU when you're doing this on a cheap laptop. So, but the vocal is just this. These are a couple samples I got on Splice. I got this one, which is just. I sped it up a little bit, but that's what it is. It's just oh fuck, and then I like right clicked on it and said search for similar sounds, and I've got
gross.
And I have an independent reverb and delay on these guys, on these vocals here. OTT reverb delay, and I'm high passing it so that it doesn't get too muddy. I mean, even though there is no like bass, sub bass here, I'd still wanted to be safe about that. I also have the reverb cut out at the end of each 16 bar segment. So when it goes into the fill with the oh fuck and goes into the B section of the drop, I have the reverb cut out and then come back in like all of a sudden. When the drop ends, I have the reverb coming back in faster, so it's sort of like a swell into what is going to be the breakdown. But that's what I have so far. I personally think this is pretty good. You can tell me what you think in the comment section, but I'm happy with it. Oh, I also have this arpeggio, which is just a square wave. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.